number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. Hey. Taking just you and live my life. Don't take it personal. We just building. It's my season, lay foundation. Make a name for generations, please, and make a then take a break or a little vacation and chasing blues away. Hey, hey. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning, or look like you always be working, soaking the moments you live in. Yeah, you got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. I'm in a place serene and pure and free. Hey, I ain't worried about what's the wave, only worry about me. Yeah. Oh, I'm taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life.
Turn up the headphones a little bit. Hey. ISO. Let's get it.
Whoa. Clear out the room, I'm coming through. They wanna see what I'm about. Yeah, I got skills.
Yeah, talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the by my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, I told him it's nothing. In the discussion, got them feelings I throw all my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you all my spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, show mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty talking about old. I'm on they now, can't get a pass now. I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. trash now, I'ma spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the skies the proof. You could just see in my eyes that there is no lies. I cannot disguise the truth. I've been ducked off, getting in my new merch, colored duck sauce on the new couch with my chucks on. Get the on with that hate. I'm big cool on the small chat, cause I know now that I'm all that. Got a hawk guy on the ball cat, get the out of my face.
Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving all my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head.
That is so dope. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. That's a great way to start every single day, family. Sorry about the late start for today's show. Good morning to you. Welcome back. You hear that? I'm brewing up some of that green organic tea for the pipes. Yes. Good morning to you. It's a glorious day. Glorious day. Great to be with you. A beautiful Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. We are children of the sun and great to be blessed to be with you every single morning. Before we get started, or as we get started and kick things into overdrive, can you do your boy a favor? Can you do me a favor? What I would ask of you is that you take a second to like and share today's show. Somebody writes, what cookout? The proverbial black family cookout. Negro, what the hell you think I'm talking about? What you mean? I have no time for dumb shit this morning. I hate it when black men act like they don't know what the hell time it is. Talking about what cookout? What cookout you think I'm talking about? The black family cookout, man. I want to talk about Alfonso Ribeiro. Apparently, he's been complaining that black folks have shunned him. And in his opinion, he has been shunned by the black family because of his choice of a mate. See the image right there? That is his mate. That's his Mrs. Alfonso Ribeiro. We'll talk about it this morning. On the right-hand side, that's a glimpse into our future. You see that right there? That's a HEPA filter mask with a silicone seal. And that could be the future of this country and this world, quite honestly. We might all be walking around with a mask like that. I got the video I'll show you. We'll talk about it and everything in between this morning. But again, take a second, family, and like, and in particular, share today's show. It means everything. Why Nikki say I wouldn't let him in the door? Y'all wrong for that, man. We got to talk about this. So y'all knew we should talk about this morning. You hear that? It's that fine blend right there, that green herbal organic tea. Good morning to you. Listen, I'm not really sure what anybody else is doing anywhere else, but this here right here, this is the last place in Cincinnati, the last honest place in Cincinnati media, brought to you by the good folks at Sin Digital Media. My name is Nathan Ivey. I'm your humble host and the conductor of conversation of sorts. I'm not sure if you're a longtime listener or maybe you haven't listened in a long time, but a lot has changed and a lot is the same. A lot has changed and a lot is the same. And just keep listening and I think you'll be able to figure it all out for yourself. Again, take a second to like and in particular share today's show. It means everything. Not everything, everything. There's no V. It means absolutely everything. She's taking protection to a whole nother level. She's got a respirator helmet. And if humans don't get right with this COVID thing, we all gonna be walking around looking like this. Man, it's got a battery pack and everything that filters the air. It's like I told you, got a silicone seal around it. Yeah, that's our future. I had to show you this morning because I want you to know. I want you to know. Good morning to you again. 513. Go ahead and lock me in. 513-873-7134. I had no idea that there was a National Chicken Finger Day. Did you know that? Who makes this shit up? Is it today? Is it good folks over at Raising Cane's? Raise your hand if you ever went to that store before, that restaurant, that establishment. It's called Raising Cane's. That's all they share is chicken fingers. And I had no idea, like, how'd you come up with a name like Raising Cane? Apparently, that's the name of the dog that's owned by the owner of Raising Cane's. He named his restaurant after his dog.
It works. It works. I had no idea. So go out there and get you some chicken fingers on National Chicken Finger Day. Like, can anybody start a day? Because I want to start a day. I'd like to know. What do you think? 513-873-7134. If you like to share your thoughts. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I get up this morning and I read that East to Westwood Council neighborhood had a meeting with members of council and a lot of concerned people that care about their neighborhoods. Some of them have been victims of gun violence. And, you know, there's a series of these conversations. Here's what I would say about all of these conversations that the community is having with council members. All of these council members want to be reelected or elected in some cases. And I think the conversation is good. I think we should be talking with people in those communities, but I hope this ain't all bullshit. I'm just going to get straight to it. Why we keep acting like we don't know what to do? I'm sick and tired of going to I've been to so many community meetings about violence, and every time we go, they say the same damn thing over and over and over and over again. Why are we acting like we don't know how to stop this and deal with it? Why are we acting like it's a one-shot solution, like somebody's going to step to the podium one day at the community council meeting on gun violence and drop some knowledge? We already know what the issue is. The problem is, do we have the will to do it? There is nothing being said that hasn't been said at all of these community council meetings over the last 2 decades. I've been on so many panels. Mofos, celebrities have come to Cincinnati talking about the gun violence. We already know. But do we have the will to do it? Period. Straight up. But no, I know we need the meetings. It's definitely necessary. I'm a big conversationalist. We need these conversations. I'm with you. I'm just tired of the BS in the games. And you got council members. This is how council members can prove that they care. We're going to have a community council. We're going to have a community council conversation on gun violence. Okay. Okay, that's cool. I'm not saying it doesn't have a resource. All I'm saying is I'm born and raised in Cincinnati. I've been to more of these community council meetings, been on panels with the same shit keep coming up over and over again. The same problems keep coming up over and over and over and over again. Everybody knows there's not there's no silver bullet or panacea. There's no one shot. Everybody knows this is a long-term strategy. I just hope the city leadership gets it together and makes it happen. But it looks good on TV, though. Oh, this is responsible. We having a community council meeting, and I'm listening. Okay. I'm sick of it. Can we get to the part where we get to the solution part? Now, I know I'm not supposed to say that. I'm supposed to play along like everybody else and act like we's making progress. Okay. I'll let other people do that. They might be better suited for it than I. I'm sick and tired of seeing the same old BS over and over again. Get to the choppers already and make it happen. Talking all this BS, we know what it is. We know what it is. We know where it is. Are we going to do it as a city? Period. But it makes for great media, though. Looks real good in the media. And again, I mean, a lot of people show up at these things because they care. They live in these neighborhoods. Nobody cares about the violence in particular neighborhoods more than the people that live in those particular neighborhoods. Nobody cares. So if you live if you live in Westwood, nobody cares more about the violence in Westwood than the people that live in Westwood. So I get it. Nobody cares about the violence in wherever the neighborhood might be than the people who live in those neighborhoods. Nobody cares. If you don't live in that neighborhood, I'm not saying you don't care, but you don't care as much as the people that actually live there. So I get it. I understand it, but god damn, when we gonna do something about this? For real. Like, I've seen it all. I've seen it, man. I remember you had a former police chief, right? And it was obvious that the mayor wanted him out. So what did he do? They had to go to the community. They had a series of community meetings. They had little pieces of paper and those little half pencils with no erasers. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody was scribbling down ideas. They had a big old board. Oh, we write down the ideas. That shit was 10 years ago. What are we doing? Nothing's going to change until people get mad, until people get angry. When people go down to City Hall and get angry and get in their face, and then they got to bring the CPD in there and get in between them, that's when issues going to start doing it, start changing. All this nice talk and where's the chalk at so I can write down my idea? That don't mean a damn thing, period. Because if it did, family, we would already be on the other side of this. Quit acting like this crime problem is new. The same thing happened before COVID. Right before COVID, we had an explosion in gun violence. This is long rooted in racism, division, elitism, segregation, you name it. We got neighborhoods that have been purposely forgotten. And then you want to act like, well, why is there violence? What you mean, why? Stop the lies. Stop the games. I'm not here for it this morning. I ain't here for it. I'm not playing along with this Cincinnati dance routine we do every time somebody gets shot. And oh, by the way, these knee-jerk reactions because there's a shooting here, a shooting there, is just so Cincinnati. It's so Cincinnati. If Cincinnati really cared about this crime issue, we'd be on the other side of it. Because I know what Cincinnati looks like when they're serious about something. When Cincinnati is serious about something, they get it done. I.e., FC Cincinnati Stadium. When Cincinnati is serious about something, I'll tell you, we need to get Jeff Burden on this. We need to get Jeff Burden, aka Mr. Mission Impossible. We need to get Jeff Burden on the gun crime issue because he is aka Mission Impossible. He gets it done. Get Jeff Burden on it. Jeff Burden, as they say, could sell ice to Eskimos. He's done it twice in Cincinnati. Oh shit, where am I? Let me say my prayers. Lord, forgive me for my brash delivery. There it is. I'm good. I can say whatever I want to say now. I'm still getting the heavenly gate. So what? So I'm just saying though, let's stop all the BS. Y'all remember that? Former police chief was tasked to deal with the violence. They set up a series of community events. It was highly publicized. The police were there. They had those little portable stand-up note-taking things where, you know what I'm saying, you got the paper and you got to flip it over the top. Remember that? The whole community came out. They had little short pencils with no erasers. They were scribbling down ideas. They presented ideas. Where's all that information at? We spending millions of dollars on ShotSpotter for fancy technology. That shit ain't working. Meanwhile, the rich keep getting rich and the poor stay poor in Cincinnati. Tell me, stop me when I'm wrong, family. I'm just saying, enough is enough. Let's get to the choppers. But again, I'm not against community conversations. I think it's a great thing. I'm just saying, like, somebody got to call it out. Like, damn. It's like 2 decades of community council conversations and people scribbling down information and da-da-da-da-da. I'm just sick of it. It just seems like a dance to me. And then this will die down for a little bit. And then we'll get distracted by the Bengals because the NFL season is upcoming. It's almost August. And then we'll go back into our Cincinnati slumber until somebody gets shot again. Then we'll just keep going through this dance over and over again. Just saying, like, some of this shit is bigger than us, man. I mean, all over the country, they dealing with gun violence. All over the country. It's not just particular to Cincinnati. It's all over the country. And, this allows council members to look like they care. We're going to sit and listen. Okay, cool. Again, that's part of the job. I get it. I get it, but I'm just saying, what else is there? What else comes from? It makes great theater. Local media gets to write about it, but what's going to actually happen? You got a mayor that made a whole bunch of promises, didn't come through. Maybe the effort to lift those 5,000 kids out of poverty would have led on some levels to a reduction in gun violence or a difference in attitudes. I don't know. I'll tell you what the city needs to do is they need to pick up what them people doing over there with Queens Village and their holistic cultural approach to black people in general and adopt that and start integrating that. And we're talking about long-term solutions, but I get it. I ain't supposed to say this shit, right? You're supposed to act like John Cranley really came through for us. He came through all right. He came through. But what do you think? 513-873-7134. Let's get it done. Mofo's still talking about CRCs. We need to open CRCs. We still having that conversation? We still talking about whether we should open CRCs and are they going to be properly funded? I mean, damn, it's 2021. Here's a quote from an article that was written about the big meeting, because that's all Cincinnati is, a series of big meetings. Check this out, this quote. Kearney pledged to work to continue to find the $2.25 million in additional money needed to create a Boys and Girls Club in East Westwood. That's a travesty in Cincinnati. That is a damn shame that we got to scramble around trying to get money for a Boys and Girls Club in Westwood. That's a fucking travesty. We should be outraged by that. All this fucking money in the city, all this wealth. Come on, y'all. Because the people, we need more people to give a damn. Let me see here. I'm just sick of these same old conversations that lead nowhere and nothing really happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we need rec centers. We need before and after school programs. We need a full investment into the community learning centers across the city of Cincinnati. But we've been talking about this for a decade. This ain't nothing new. Like I said, nothing's going to happen on gun violence until Cincinnati gets angry, gets loud, and gets confrontational. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Because to me, that's what I see. What I see is that when people get loud, they get angry, they get confrontational, that's when people start to pay attention to it. But when you're all nice and you're begging and you're just saying things with a nice inside voice, man, they ignore that shit so easy. They ignore that ish so easy. This is the easiest thing in the world. So that's what I see. These polite little meetings, that's great. It is cool. Hopefully that can be the start of something. I doubt it very seriously because we've been having these polite meetings for 2 decades now. I mean, literally 2 decades, if not longer than that. Literally. And, all I know is that when I saw mofos go down to city council and hold them accountable and get off the beaten path and stop being Cincinnati polite, all of a sudden people start paying attention. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do or anything. I'm just making observations here. You make your own decision about what you think is the right way to go. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show. 513-873-7134. Good morning to you. What do you think? What do you think? If you're just tuning in, I'm just reacting to this article I'm reading about the big meeting on gun violence and violence reduction over in East Westwood, the East Westwood Council. And I hope the best, man. I wish them absolutely the best. I hope that a conversation leads to real change. But when I sit here and think about it, I'm like, damn, it's just one meeting after another. And it always sounds good and looks good. And it seems like a circular conversation, right? We're just moving in circles here. We never move forward. We just going in circles on this. I don't know. That's what it seems like to me. But what do you think? 513-873-7134. If you like to share your thoughts this morning, I would love to hear them. I'd love to hear your thoughts this morning as we navigate these uncharted waters called life together. Are we post-COVID or are we like almost post-COVID? I'm not really sure where we are with it. Where are we exactly? Are we post-COVID? Are we free now? Are we done now? Or what's going on? I don't know. All I know is that we headed back to school, and I keep reading about all this stuff about the Delta variant. I just posted something yesterday about how the COVID-19 cases are increasing in Ohio. Let's just talk about Ohio, okay? We won't talk about the whole country. In Ohio, COVID-19 infections are going up. Got a bump with the July 4th weekend, yada, yada, yada. You got the Delta variant, yada, yada, yada. You got people who are still going back and forth about being vaccinated or not being vaccinated. That's your right, do you? You got the right to die in America. If you want to die in America, you got the right to die. You got the right to live any way you want to as long as you're not hurting other people. It is what it is. But Sister Iris knows what I'm talking about. She feels me. Community conversation with no focus, no results, no framing of the real problems, and no conversation on the economic disparities. Now, I wasn't at that meeting, so I'm not going to talk about what was said and was not said. I'm just speaking in general. These meetings don't mean a damn thing. Memo to council persons. You having these meetings right before the election because it makes you look good. I'm talking about anybody and everybody. I don't give a damn whether you're a Democrat, Republican, makes no difference. Somebody got to call this out. Okay. So it's got to be me, your friendly neighborhood agent provocateur. Y'all having these meetings right before the election because you want us to think you care. And I'm not saying you don't. And you're listening and all that kind of shit. But y'all been having meetings for 2 decades. What are you meeting about? You already know what the issue is. Are you gonna put money and will behind it or not? Like I said, I remember it was Blackwell. It was Chief Blackwell. Remember how they played Blackwell? And then you had Harry Black, who was the city manager. And of course, you had the current mayor who just loves black people so much, right? He just loves black people, the mayor, John Cranley, the guy that wants to be governor. AKA the penisless wonder. I'll say it again. The current governor has no spine. A man who wants to be governor has no penis. We in a good spot. And I'm talking about John Cranley. I don't know for sure. I'm speaking figuratively. But because if he did, he would have got something done. What the hell is this man doing? Oh, we got to have a committee. Yeah, John, we see you. Every time something happens, we're going to have a committee. Man, if you don't get and started and doing something, but it's too late now because he's on his way out. But y'all thought he was better than Yvette. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I didn't. I tried to tell you, but Cincinnati does what Cincinnati wants to do. Remember, with Blackwell, he had to go to the community. I'll never forget this because I thought it was ridiculous. But okay, it's the game we're going to play. And they had all these series of community events. The police were there. Everybody had these little short pieces of paper and the little half pencils. They were scribbling down ideas and they was talking about the ideas. Remember all this shit? Where's all that information at? I mean, it happened during John Cranley's administration. Or did they take that information and just throw it away? Probably. Produce this information. Why you asked the community many years ago to come to all these community events and write down and spend all this time? Where's all this information at? Where's all these notes at? Somewhere in the trash. Somewhere at the Rumpke landfill. It was BS. That was nothing more than a game to get rid of the former police chief. That's all it was. And I'm not saying that these members of council don't care. I need some tea. I need some tea. You are hilarious. I do need some tea. But I have this tea. I need some of that black woman tea. Hey, welcome to my house. This is what we talk about. But wifey was being funny. So yeah, where's all this information? Remember this? I know somebody remember this. And everybody was writing down stuff. Where's all this information at? Listen, we already know what the issues are. Are they unique to particular neighborhoods? Of course they are. But are they in general the same? Yes, they have been for 2 decades now. And quit acting like we got a crime problem. We have a don't give a fuck problem in Cincinnati. Excuse my language. That's what the real problem is. We need to have some community meetings on how we don't really give a damn, but we act like we do. It's called Cincinnati polite. Oh, we good at that. We are so good at that. We got Cincinnati polite down to a science. We got it down to a science, yo. Acting like we care and we really don't. We got that down to a science. Oh my God. Y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all don't want to hear this. Nobody wants to hear this. So I don't think, it's not that I believe that council members don't care. I just think they stuck on stupid, playing these little political games right before the election, and I'm not having it. I'm not playing into it. I'm not going to act like, oh, this is a good idea. It's okay. I mean, I guess it could be worse ideas, but if there's not going to be any real action behind it, why would I waste my time going to these meetings? Who's got time wasting in some long ass meetings? During COVID, by the way, with no mask on. Who got time for that? I don't have time for that. Man, I've been on so many panel discussions across this city over the last 2 decades. Celebrities have come in town. They put these blue ribbon panels on like somebody's going to say something we never heard before. And mofos keep saying the same thing over and over again. I'm going to say it right now. We don't have a crime problem. We have a we don't give a damn problem in Cincinnati. That's what the real issue is. You don't give a damn about these kids. You don't care. Because when Cincinnati cares about something, Cincinnati makes it happen. That's what I see. That's what I see. When this city is serious about an issue, they make it, they get it, they tackle the issue. We serious about building something, guess what? It gets built. That's what I see. What do you see, Cincinnatian? Tell me I'm wrong. 513-873, or tell me I'm right. You don't have to tell me I'm right. We can always agree to disagree or whatever. I'm just saying. We are talking about these issues in the wrong way. It's the guns, it's the illegal guns. Illegal guns? What in the does that even mean in an open carry state? But it's far easier to talk about illegal guns. That's some good tea. The motherfuckers that don't really care. That's so much better to talk about that. We love to frame things in a way that makes us feel good in Cincinnati. And I'm here to kick down your fort and keep it real with you. And that's what I'm here to do. 513-873-7134. No more community meetings that's not going to really lead to something. Quit wasting people's time, having them come out to these damn meetings and sit around and talk about shit that you already know. You already know this. Quit acting like somebody's going to grab the mic one day and say something and people's going to be like, Eureka, we never heard that before. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Just get to the choppers. Make it happen. Simply as that. Simple as that. But we shall see. We shall see. I know they care so much. If you really cared, then we'd be talking about black wealth building and using those particular words, black wealth building. It's funny because when I bring that up to people that's running, well, yeah, Nate, but they don't really have no plans about it. They want to call us something else. They want to play games with it. Okay. I mean, again, we real good at that. I say we got a Cincinnati polite problem. That's what we got. People want to be polite. I'm friends with such and such, and that's my friend. I went to school with them, and we came out the same year. Bump all of that. I don't care about none of that. I need some more. It's got a little kick to it, too. Good morning to you. So as you can see, I'm on one this morning, especially when it comes to my city, because I just get tired of seeing this dumb-ish, man, and the way that gets played out over and over again and regurgitate the same damn thing. You heard it here first. We don't have a gun violence problem. We have a we don't really give a damn problem. That's what the real issue is. Because when Cincinnati gives a damn, Cincinnati makes things happen. Tell me I'm wrong. All this wealth in this city, all these influential people in this city, all these movers and shakers. Let's get it done. I know I'm the black sheep of the local media family, and I love it. I relish it. Good morning to you. Tiffany writes, good morning, all. Andrielle writes, good morning, Nate and friends from New Miami. Hey, good to see you, Andrielle. Good morning to you. I'm not too bright, am I? That light is kind of washing me out. Anthony writes, morning, Chop Shop. Thought my son was coming in here. A.R. Thompson writes, good risings all. Ray speaks. Good morning to you. Charles Martin writes, grand risings, Nate and the Choppers. If Drop can come to the cookout, why not? Pardon me. Why not Alfonso? So that's a great segue to reiterate something I want to talk about this morning. See that picture right there? That's Alfonso Ribeiro and his wife. What do you think about that? I think they make a nice little couple. Are we post-interracial dating issues? Like, I thought that we were post-interracial dating. Like, I remember when interracial dating was like a big ass issue. Is it still a big issue? I know plenty of folks in interracial marriages and stuff. I don't think shit about it. Never even crossed my mind. Do you? You know, it's just like, it's like corduroys. You want to wear corduroy pants in the summertime? Go right ahead. I don't think anything about it. Now, I'm not going to wear corduroy pants in the summertime, but if that's what you want to do, I have no problem with it. I don't judge you. I don't think anything about it. I feel the same about interracial dating. I got my personal preferences. They're my personal preferences. How you live your life and what you do is up to you. I will say this, though. Some people might not like this. This is my personal viewpoint. That I feel very strongly about this, that who you decide to marry says a lot about you in a lot of different ways. I'll leave it just like that. I'm not assuming anything negative. I'm not saying anything positive. I'm just saying that's just my general perception about human beings when they start to couple up. So Alfonso Ribeiro, why are we talking about him? Well, everybody knows Alfonso Ribeiro because he was Carlton. Everybody loves Carlton on The Fresh Prince. One of the flyest sitcoms of all time. And Carlton Banks played the lovable cousin. He's a little bit nerdy. He's a little bit geeky. He's a little bit from the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? He was the opposite of Will Smith, who was from like the streets of Philly, right? Uncle Phil's son, Uncle Phil's only son. That was the dope ass show though, right? The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That was super dope. Man, I used to love it, man. Will Smith is an incredible talent. Incredible talent. And remember the Carlton dance? That Carlton dance, man, listen. That was one of the hilarious. He said he just made it up all by himself. You know, he recently lost a court battle. He was trying to copyright the dance. And the reason why is because you got these games, right? These video games like Fortnite and others that have recreated in the video game the Carlton dance, which my wife is doing right now. She is hilarious. I am so blessed. I'm more blessed than any man should really be, quite honestly. I'm way more blessed than any man should be. And so he tried to copyright it, right? And then he was told by the U.S. Patent Office or Copyright and Patent Office that you can't patent a dance, which I thought was interesting. Like, you can't patent a dance? Okay. So he lost that battle. But he recently turned up again in the news. He is complaining and said that black people turned on him for choosing a white wife. He says he's not embraced by white or black people. And I thought, shit, I'm black. I got a majority black audience. I like to know what black people think about that. And I'll be honest with you. Until I read this within the last, I'd say, I came across a story 2 days ago, right? within the last 48 hours, I didn't even know that Carlton was married and who he was married to. I had no idea at all. You see how that works? Sometimes people's insecurities, they can amplify them and think everybody else sees it, and you don't even see it. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody that might have, like, I don't know, a gap in their teeth, right? And to them, they think that's the first thing that everybody sees. And when you see this person, you don't even notice it. And when you do, you're like, oh, that's kind of cute, right? But to them, it's like a sore thumb or something like that. It's like sticking out. And I think that's kind of how I'm looking at Alfonso Ribeiro. Like, Alfonso, Carlton, I ain't even know, bro. I had no idea. You know, for me personally, when I look at Alfonso Ribeiro, he's a part of pop cultural history. He can certainly come to the barbecue, bring out his family. I never thought anything was about it. But he says that, I guess in his day-to-day life, he's not accepted by white people because he's black. And he's not accepted by black people because he's black married to a white woman. And I'd like to know what your thoughts are about that. 513-873-7134. This is a cultural conversation. It's a black family conversation. Is Alfonso Ribeiro eligible to come to the barbecue, to the cookout? I say, yeah. He's Carlton. You can't keep Carlton out. Now, I know there might be some people in the audience that may have an issue with a black man marrying a white woman, and I don't want you to spare your thoughts. Share whatever your thoughts are. This is a safe haven for you. You know, you're neither right nor wrong. It's just your opinion about it. It's your opinion about it. But I thought it was very, very odd. Now, does a black man, now I do know that there are black women that will look at a man like Alfonso Ribeiro and be like, what's up, bro? You couldn't find a sister? And that's completely fair. I know there are black women. I know Donnie B talks about this a lot on her podcast. It's Just Me podcast. Fridays at 12:30 p.m. Check it out. And she talks about her frustrations with these celebrity black men who get this elevated stature in our society, and or they making a lot of money and they choose to be with somebody other than a sister. I get it. I understand it. But again, how many people even knew that Alfonso Ribeiro was married, let alone that he was married to a white woman? I had no idea. I did some checking. They got kids and everything, cute little kids. He living his best life. Okay, live your best life. Okay. Never even dawned on me, but it sounds like this black man is dealing with some things personally and he's lashing out. Says he's not embraced by white or black people. And I would say, welcome to America, Carlton. I'm sorry, Alfonso. I bet he hates being called Carlton. Something tells me, like, when you meet Alfonso Ribeiro, don't call him Carlton. He probably want to kick you. I bet he's sitting somewhere right now like, I hate it when people call me Carlton. And I can understand why. If I was him, I wouldn't be one to call Carlton either. It's like, man, my name is Alfonso Ribeiro, damn it. Right? Again, I come with many gifts, the many gifts of conversation on a daily basis. Some are political and some are cultural. Some are more or less relevant to your experience. It's up to you to decide whether you want to stick around and partake. I put it on the table. You decide what you want to eat. You know what I'm saying? Conversation a la carte. Build your own talk show, so to speak. But I'd love to get your thoughts about it. 513-873-7134. If Drop can come to the cookout. Oh, man. Drop is definitely welcome to the cookout, man. We need black Trumpsters at the cookout. Speaking of Trumpsters, today's going to be a very interesting day because I believe today is the first day of the congressional hearings on the January 6th insurrection. It should be really interesting. And I want to say this. I want to give Nancy Pelosi props, even though I'm still pissed with her for saying that George Floyd, he gave his life for the movement or some old dumb shit she said. Oh, George, thank you for giving your life for the movement. Mofo, I ain't trying to die for no movement. Like I look like. George Floyd didn't wake up today like, you know what? I think I'm going to die for police reform today. The hell, Nancy Pelosi? You got a whole lot to come back on that comment right there, Nancy Pelosi. I ain't feeling it. But what I do respect her for is the way that she's stacking the deck with this congressional hearing, right? The Republicans shot it down. The Senate Republicans shot it down because they don't want to be exposed for how they were fomenting domestic terrorism. I'll say it again. A lot of these Republicans on the national level were fomenting domestic terrorism. Running around here talking about how the election was stolen. Y'all weren't saying that with Al Gore back in 2000. That was an election that was stolen. Hanging Chad, Supreme Court comes in, Republican majority, they give it to candidate Bush. They had nothing to say. Flash forward 21 years. Flash forward 20 years, damn. And now you want to run around here talking about how Joe Biden stole the election. Where's the evidence? Well, just think about it. It had to be stolen because Trump's so popular. Okay. Run around here and they whipped up the domestic terrorists because, you got a certain element in the white community that's dissatisfied about their stature. Okay. They read all these books about how white people had it so good back in the day. They was running ish. They look around, they see LeBron James doing Space Jam 2. Oprah got her own network. All these black folks living their best lives. Something is wrong here. Something is wrong in my America, right? So they fomented all of that. And these folks ran to the Capitol and basically they should be charged for sedition, in my opinion. They tried to overthrow the government after a righteous legal election, right? And now they don't want an investigation into it, but the investigation starts today. Props to Nancy Pelosi because she stacked the deck. She tried to work with the Republicans, right? And said, listen, we'll let you put some people on here. And these mofos want to put, what's his name? From Ohio. Was it Jim Jeffords? Is that his name? Jim Jordan? Man, if I was Nancy Pelosi, I would have kicked his ass off too. All Jim Jordan's going to do is come on there and talk dumb shit. That's all he's going to do. Run around here playing games, taking texts from Trump, say this. Okay, sir. So what she did is she got two Republicans that's got some damn sense. Liz Cheney and I think Adam Kinzinger, I think. Somebody fact check me on that. These are two of the Republicans, congressional Republicans that's got some damn sense. They can see things for what they really are. So now they're going to be the only two Republicans on this bipartisan committee to investigate. Again, it starts today. And I think the first testimony are going to be Capitol police officers. Remember back in the day when Republicans really supported police officers? Or they only support police officers in their individual states? When they foment domestic terrorism and people get killed and suffering from PTSD and all this kind of stuff, all of a sudden we don't support police. Hypocrites, man. But it starts today. So for my political folks out there, that'll be some theater for you. You should check that out. Should be real interesting. Hey, listen, if you like this kind of programming, because it ain't for everybody, I fully admit it. This ain't for everybody. What I do is not for everybody. The way I do what I do, it's not for everybody. What we've created here, it ain't for everybody. I totally understand it. Maybe you'll come back one day and we talk about something that, more interests you. I totally understand. You ain't got to leave me a message talking about size and all. Just fucking go and come back when you want to. Simple as that. But if you like this kind of flows, these kind of programming, please like and in particular share this, on your Facebook page and Facebook groups. I can't be everywhere. And then Facebook is not going to allow me to share it to every single group. So I need you to lift me up and let people know that there's an alternative here. You got a lot of alternatives. A lot of folks are doing this digital thing now. You got your legacy media. As I've said before, I think there's a place for everybody. I think more is more, and that's a good thing. But if you like these kind of like no holds bars, tell it like it is commentary on local issues, and at the same time, we can have a lot of irreverent fun on the show. To hear me, subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to this video feed on Sin Digital Media's Facebook page. And I'm on Twitter. And check us out. I say CDM is home to the most unfiltered Black voices in the greater Cincinnati area, period. We keep it 100 with you. And if that's something and we also have a lot of fun. If that's something you feel like you can get into, great. If you can't, you ain't got to tell me. Just do whatever you need to do. Let's go straight to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, comrade.
Hey, what's up, Black Russia?
Not a whole lot. What's that?
I can't call it, brother. Good morning to you, and what's on your mind?
Good morning. Hey, I wanted to ask you a question about the meeting yesterday. Did you think that was genuine?
Say again.
Did you think the intent? Did you think the intent of the meeting was genuine?
Do I think that the agenda of the meeting was genuine?
The intent, like as far as like this would be a public safety meeting, right? Because I know you were saying before that certain people on council don't give a damn about violence in Cincinnati. I just wanted to know what your perspective was. Is it the same attitude? Yes, watch any of it or?
Yeah. So the answer, in my opinion, it's hard to gauge people's intent. I think that the members of the community who showed up had the best intentions. I think that if you're from East Westwood and you showed up at that meeting yesterday, you showed up for genuine reasons because you're concerned about your neighborhood and you're concerned about the crime. As for the politicians, I'm not so sure about that. I think it's self-serving in some cases. I think it's just political theater right before the election. And I think some of these people already know what the answers are, but it makes for great media. They get some good press, and some of them are hoping they can ride that straight into being elected or reelected, whatever the case may be. I think elected is the best way to put it, if I'm correct with who was there in November.
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair because Jan Michelle was the chair of that meeting yesterday. It was her meeting,
right?
And I'm just being consistent. One person that I did notice that was missing from yesterday was Greg Lansman. They said he was stuck on a plane somewhere. Okay, that type of stuff right there, when these types of meetings are going on, I gotta give you a side eye on that. Especially if you want to get reelected, right? And supposedly this was his idea to go into the neighborhood on this one, and he doesn't show up.
Well, the man's out of town. He's out of town.
Well, but I hear you on that. But you also have a job, right?
Okay.
I mean, if you're gonna make these suggestions, right? Let's not do the meeting down at City Hall. Let's go over to East Westwood, right? And let's engage the people. And you not there for whatever reason.
Okay.
I just think that's a red flag to me, and it should be for people. Absolutely. You the one that suggested let's go to East Westwood, let's go to Road Hill and talk to the people, and then you don't show up. I'm just saying that's problematic.
Well, let me challenge you a little bit, my friend.
Sure.
And I want to see if you're going to keep that same energy. Was the chair of law and public safety there, Christopher Smitherman?
Wasn't his meeting.
I'm just saying, was he there?
The answer is no.
Okay, where was he at? Was he on a plane? Is he in the city? Why wasn't he there?
That wasn't his meeting.
He's the chair in law and public safety.
What's your point, bro?
You know what my point is. Where was he at? Why wasn't he there?
It wasn't his meeting. It wasn't his committee.
He's the chair of law and public safety. It is his meeting. That's in his wheelhouse. Why wasn't he there?
His wheelhouse is law and public safety, bro. They have a whole other committee where they do their work.
So you're not being
Neighborhood committee is a whole other committee.
You changing
that
your
does
energy.
Their work.
You're changing your energy. You want to hold Greg Lansman accountable, and I think that's fair to ask. Why all of the council members weren't there, but it also includes Christopher Smitherman. Yeah, and he's the chair of law and public safety. This is a public safety meeting.
No, this is not. No, it was a neighborhood meeting.
It's a public safety meeting in the neighborhood. Why wasn't he there?
For this meeting, I mean, I think this is a pretty simple answer. What's your name? Put it in Tang. Ask me, I'm gonna tell you the same. It wasn't his meeting.
Okay. So your energy changed.
Same energy.
Your energy changed.
No, absolutely not.
You're guilty of being polite. You're guilty of being systemic. Yes, you are. You're being too polite to Christopher Smitherman. If you're gonna ask that question of Greg Lansman, you got to ask that question of the chair of law and public safety.
Nah, see, what you want to do is try to marginalize the man. First off, he's termed off. Okay, I was talking about and you said this: the individuals who are looking to get elected for the first time or reelected, whatever the case may be. He's not neither one of those.
He's a current member of city council, sir.
Yeah, but that's not his meeting. Neighborhood is not his meeting.
He's the law and public safety chair,
on your
sir.
Brain? See, I asked TNT the same thing. Why is Smitherman on y'all brain so hard? Y'all swear up and down he ain't doing nothing for the community. But
I'm just challenging you because I know that's your boy. And so when you call into the show, I'm just challenging you to see if you're going to keep that same energy because I know that's your man's in them. And so if you're going to challenge why one member of city council wasn't there, I'm just going to ask you about Christopher Smitherman. He's the chair of law and public safety.
You could Right, you could change the conversation if you want. It's your show, bro. I respect
I'm not
it.
changing the conversation. I'm just challenging
yes,
you
you
to see
are.
if you're gonna keep that same energy. And now I know you're not.
Because it's not his meeting, number one. Number two, he's not asking people to reelect him. Greg Lansman wants people to reelect him. He's the one that suggests let's go to Rose here, y'all, and then he don't show up. This is Jam Michelle's meeting.
You said he was out of town.
And they said he was on a plane. I don't know if that's out of town or that's up in the sky
The
somewhere.
man is out of town, so you already know the answer why he was out of town. I don't know the details about his travel, but it sounds like you already know why he wasn't there. He's out of town.
But see, you making excuses. See, that's what I'm saying. Now
I'm not making excuses. You gave us the reason why he's not there. He's out of town.
I said he was in a plane somewhere. Number one, I don't know where he's at. I don't know where Greg is at. What I do know is after watching the meeting, I know that it was his suggestion to go to Rose Hill to go meet the people. And what does he do? He does not go meet the people. I'm not paying attention to what people say. I'm watching what they do, bro. And
right.
This is the reality of it.
Right.
So I'm saying is, look, I agree with you in part. There's some grandstanding going on here. And I'm saying I'm at least satisfied that you're keeping the same energy that Jan Michelle is playing the same grandstanding game, and these Democrats playing the same grandstanding game that you accuse others of doing. I appreciate that. But what you shouldn't do is try to change the subject. Say, well, why is this person not here? Why is that? Because it's not their meeting, bro.
You started the conversation.
This is none of that.
He's not. It is his meeting. He's a member of City Council and the chair of Law and Public Safety. So now basically water ain't wet. And he's got no responsibility whatsoever meeting, to be at these meetings. I'm just saying, if you're going to ask why one member of City Council isn't there, ask why they all aren't there.
Look, Greg Lance is on the committee, bro. And so be at the meeting if you're going to suggest to be somewhere. So if you get that, then how you not get the fact that Smithman?
It sounds like, again, I don't know the details, but it sounds like from what you're saying, he might have suggested that they have the meeting. But then when they actually had the meeting, maybe it didn't sync up and he has some obligations out of town. So it sounds like you already answered your own question.
I don't know what his obligations are. What I do know is don't suggest for your committee. This is his committee, too. I want to be focused on this. Greg Lance sits on this committee, okay? And Greg Lance suggests that you go to the community, go to Rose Hill to talk to the people. And then you're not there. That's all I'm saying. You try to attribute to see if I'm keeping the same energy for a person who's not on the committee, who's not running for re-election. Like, that's not the same.
He is running for another office, though. He's running for Hamilton County Commissioner. And whether he's running for re-election or not, he's currently a member of City Council. And he's currently the chair of Law and Public Safety. And in that committee, they talk about gun violence all the time. This was a conversation in the neighborhood about gun violence. Stop acting like he had no reason to be there. You're making excuses.
Not in the committee, bro.
You're making excuses.
No,
You're making excuses.
You making excuses for Greg Lance, who called the damn meeting.
You making excuses. You playing Cincinnati polite with Smitherman, and it's pathetic.
You brought Smitherman up, bro. I did.
You brought Lansman up.
Because this is his meeting, bro. What part of that don't you get? This is his meeting.
I understand you. I understand.
Why are we talking about Smitherman? So why are we talking about Smitherman? Why is he relevant to this conversation?
Because he's a member of City Council, is he not?
He is a member of City Council.
And he's also the chair of Law and Public Safety, where they discuss gun violence in Cincinnati. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Didn't they talk about gun violence at the meeting yesterday?
That wasn't his committee meeting. That's what I'm
saying. Did they talk about gun violence in the meeting yesterday?
I think they talked somewhat about that, yes.
Of course. So that's why I'm bringing them up, because it's relevant.
Not at all. But we'll agree to disagree.
You can say whatever you want to say, bro. But the facts are the facts.
The cats who want to call the meetings ain't showing up. But you talking about people who ain't even on the committee not showing up. I hear you, but okay, we'll split hairs on that one.
You can't keep that same energy. That's all it is. I get it.
Because it's not the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing.
This is not Law and Public Safety Committee. This is neighborhood.
It's the same issues that they deal with in Law and Public Safety. We talking about.
But it's intersectionality in all these committees all the time. That don't mean you show up to every committee meeting that you're not sitting on. Come on, bro.
Does Christopher Smitherman represent East Westwood?
Every council member represents all 52 neighborhoods.
And that's why I said it was fair to hold every council member accountable. See, you're the one playing games. I'm keeping it 100. I think it's fair to ask why all of the council members were or were not there. All of them.
We're talking about committee work, bro. You want to
committee work? They can still show up and show their support. and show their interest and get that information, that direct input from the neighborhoods. Ain't nothing stopping them from doing that. Some of them people
this shit is on TV,
them.
bro. People can watch this on TV if they want to. If they're not a part of the committee, I'm saying the committee
maybe Greg
folks need to be
Landsman was
there.
watching it from TV.
Man, bro, he the one that suggested the meeting the road here, bro. And then he don't show up. So look,
you asked
can
why.
try to make
I don't know
that.
why. You said he was on a plane. Maybe the man was out of town. I don't know.
That's what Jan Michelle said. I didn't say
well,
anything.
If she said it, then she probably
has
has some good information as to why, and she may be right. Maybe the man's out of town. He can't go out of town.
Right. What I'm saying is this, though. If you're going to be out of town, don't be going around here suggesting we have committee meetings in the hood then. If you ain't going to be there, don't do that. That's part of what you were saying. That's why I agree with you in part, because it's grandstanding. He going to say, let's go to the neighborhoods, and then you on a plane somewhere. Come on, man. Come on. I mean, this is you talking about this name polite. This is the smoke screen that you create for some of these Democrats, bro. Like, Jan Michelle is disingenuous at this meeting. She's trying to get votes. All right. This is the first time she's been out to East Westwood talking about gun violence, and she's been on council for damn near a year. So come on, bro.
Are you sure about that? I don't have the details about her travel plans and where she's been.
As far as talking about what I just said, as far as going out there talking about public safety in East Westwood, first time out there.
She might have been out there, and it wasn't in the newspaper.
Any Democrat was out there.
She might have been out there and having conversation, and it just wasn't in the news. I don't know.
Man,
sounds like you know all her travel details and everything.
Jan Michelle can demand the news what she wanted. All right, she got that type of clout. This is the first time she'd have been out there talking about gun violence, bro. It's because they're trying to catch up to other folks who have been doing the work, who have been saying the same stuff. I'm just glad, comrade, that you kept the same energy and that you saw through it for what it was. A damn sideshow.
One of us got to be consistent, because you certainly not. You making excuses.
Like they care about public safety.
You making excuses for your boy. But I get it. That's your man's in them. I understand. You going to cape for him. Don't tie that cape around your neck too tight, man.
Look, John Cranley, Christopher Smitherman, these people are seeking higher office, all right? So look, all that stuff, all that energy that people want to give them that's negative, people brush it off and they're just moving up. Meantime, we got Greg Landsman out here talking about let's go engage community, and he got a dang plan somewhere. Come on, bro. Like, I can't make this shit up.
No,
all right, comrade. I'll leave it to it, bro.
All right,
but these community meetings, there's a lot of grandstanding going on, but it's the Democrats doing the grandstanding, comrade. Take it easy.
All right, man. Take it easy. That's Black Russia with his daily dose of I'm not sure what you were gonna call it. He is on one, man. I get you. You know, you're saying if you're on a committee and you should be there, great. But I think it's fair to ask where all of them were. I understand this committee work, but you can still show up. You can still sit in the audience and get some information if you really want to. Don't act like you can't, nothing stopping you, but I don't know the details of people's travel plans. Maybe other folks are busy. Maybe that's how things work. Okay. That's good enough for me. But let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Nate, it's Pat.
Hey, Pat.
I called to say I went to an East Westwood meeting on July 8th. Jan Michelle was there. Greg Landsman was there. And I met both of them. So I believe Jan Michelle, because he did show up to that meeting, and that was shortly after the incident up the street from me at the store where the little boy got shot in the head and the other little boy was shot. So they were both there at that time.
Okay.
So Jan Michelle has been out here before to a community meeting in East Westwood.
Okay, thank you for setting the record straight, Pat. I appreciate it.
And Greg Landsman was there as well.
Thank you for that. I appreciate you.
All right.
All right, that's Pat checking in with some fact checks. Yeah, you talking about she ain't never been over there. I can't say that. I don't know what their travel habits are and where these council members have been. I'm not going to go that far with it. I don't have her itinerary over the last 6 months. I have no idea. I would assume that they probably have had a series of conversations and meetings that never make the news. They never make the news. I'm not going to assume that just because it's not in the news that it didn't happen, but that's Black Russia. He's on his Black Russia stuff. Okay, bro. I get it. I get it. So what cookout? You know what cookout I'm talking about. All right, let me get back to Alfonso Ribeiro. claiming that black people have turned on him for choosing a white wife. Does that sound like something black people would do? How do you look at a black man that marries a white woman? Let's just get straight to it. I mean, let's have a conversation, black family. Let's have it right here, right now. So we don't keep having to have these conversations. I mean, is that a turn on, turn off for you? Does it not matter to you? I'd like to know. Do you lose your black card if you marry someone who is white, who is non-black? And that black card gives you entrance into the proverbial black cookout. I'd like to know. 513-873-7134. Now, this could be a difficult conversation for some, but I want to have this conversation. This is a cultural conversation. Now, we're also talking about these community meetings and do they really have a role? Anything going to come out of it? That's our local conversation. But our cultural conversation is about Alfonso Ribeiro, who is claiming that black people turned on him for choosing a white wife, says he's not embraced by the white or black community. And you know what? I think the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that sitcom. What's up, son?
Daddy.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too. I love you too. You said, what's up, choppers? Say it on the microphone, man, so they can hear you.
What's up, choppers?
What's up, choppers? Okay. At least you're keeping it consistent, huh?
Hi, everybody.
Hold. You're swimming today, right? You going to the pool today?
I don't know.
Today's Tuesday.
Oh, bro.
Okay. Daddy might show up over there. Make sure you keep your vest on. Yeah.
You're maybe going to show up?
Yes.
Maybe you're going to come?
Yes. Don't be. I said maybe. You said there's no swimming today? Oh, I'm sorry, son. I'm jazzing you up. There's no swimming today. Your mother just told me. Sorry about that. Well, that makes. Then I probably won't show up then. I'll let you just do your thing. All right, son. Brush your hair, boy. This boy. Good morning to you. Let's go straight to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Nate. It's Kev on the cell. How are you, sir?
What up, Kev on the cell? Good morning, brother. Welcome.
Thank you, brother. It's a good morning. Good morning. I'm gonna get right to it. Two things. One, that does sound like the black community on Alfonso Ribeiro. Absolutely does. He's speaking the truth that a lot of people speak. Now, for myself, cream and chocolate, I don't too much care for vanilla. That's just who I am. But I believe that you should find love wherever you find it, man. This is a really shallow world. There's, not enough folks to go around, and some of the folks are going around what other folks do. So you find love where you find it, man. Why? We make it personal, like like you sleeping with my girl. That's not real. I live how you live, love how you love, man, and hopefully you find love. It's hard to find out here.
I'm with you 100%.
Your boy like Russia, man. This thing about the Republicans. So the Democrats, apparently, we need to turn our backs on the Democrats, right? Because we expect them to save us. But every brother I hear that is telling me that the Republican is a better option, it's because they saying that the Republicans are going to save us. Man, we ain't got nobody going to save us, man. We got to save ourselves. You hear me? If folks out here waiting for somebody to throw them a lifeline, this is not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, man. You dead. There's nobody. It's cracking me up, man. That's not real. These people are not. I was on the community council, man, for 3 years, right? And I'll be honest with you, everybody shows up all the time, and that is the truth. Most of the people who run for office, can't say all, most of the people who run for office have a genuine desire to do service. Now, it gets corrupted by a bunch of other stuff. I will say that. I don't know if it's about power or what, but it does get corrupted by a bunch of other stuff for some folks. But people show up, man. They do. They show up. They spend time.
They try to figure out what the issues are and if they can help. Now, maybe they do it just because they're going to run again, but that's kind of the point, right? I mean, I don't really care why you're doing the work. I just care that you do the work. And why are we kicking people for doing the work? You gonna be mad at somebody because they showed up at the meeting? Be mad at the people that didn't come. Who wasn't in the room? You know what I'm saying, Nate? Is it just me, man? Am I crazy?
No, I'm with you, brother.
Are we kicking? You know what I'm saying? Are we kicking the people that are helping us? Why we do that? That doesn't make sense, man. We keep kicking the people that are helping us. On my last part of my rant, I'm gonna let it go because I don't want to hold you too long. So the vaccination, folks. Look, I'm tired of this. If you're, huh?
Sorry about that. Go right ahead, brother.
You fine, bro. Hey, look, I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of possibly we gonna go back to this and that. Like, go get a shot. Stop being a punk. Go get a shot. It is what it is. You got a shot for the measles, for the mumps. You got one for rubella. The shot, and more people are living that took the shot than the people are dying. So I'm telling you, stop being punks and quit messing up my life. That's right. I'm selfish enough to say it. Quit messing up my life. You got stuff. People talking about they're going to close things down again. Folks got to wear masks. Just go get a shot so I can get back to just doing me. I did get to go see Black Widow, though, bro, over the weekend.
Did you?
And I got to say, I did, bro. Me and my little girl went to the drive-in. And I got to say, now one of my favorite Marvels, man. It was pretty good.
Really?
I enjoyed it.
Okay, cool. Cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. You know what I'm in with, man. So we're talking about the people that are showing up and not showing up. If you don't show up, you get no choice. You got no voice. So it is what it is. If you're mad about the choices that are being made currently in city council, in your community council, show up to the meetings, find out what's going on, go ahead and exercise your right to vote. I know I sound like a broken record. You probably tuned me out by now, but that's okay. I ain't got no problem with that. Take 3 people with you to the polls. Get in your car. Say, you know what? I'm going to go vote. And when you go vote, because we know Chopper's going to go vote, when you go vote, call up 3 people that you think might be on the fence and just be like, hey, man, you can just ride with me. I got you. You know what I mean? Get with your local churches and have them start a drive. Figure out if you can get some buses or something. Go help, especially the elderly. My biggest concern right now is that the real push is to disenfranchise folks who it's already difficult for. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily us. I'll call myself younger people who are mobile and don't have too many problems. It's the people who are going to have difficulty getting there anyway that want to vote. That's who they're going to make it harder for. So we got to help them so that we make sure that everybody's voice is heard. And, I'm going to leave everybody with that, man. Y'all be blessed. Stop dropping nonsense. I don't even know if you've been on today. I ain't had a chance to listen.
No, yeah.
But stop dropping nonsense. You confusing people. You know what I'm saying? Some folks don't need to be confused, don't need to help. There are folks out there like my man Black Russia. It's Black man from Russia in America. Is there anything else to say? And you're a Republican who's caping for communism? I don't understand. Anyway, be blessed, Nate.
Thanks for the call.
Have a good one.
That's Kev on the cell. Good to hear you. All right, 513-873-7134. Before we go any further, though, a quick word from our sponsor from Renew Community Church. And hopefully this information will hit somebody and help somebody at the right time. And we'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
The words for today are attract better relationships. It takes 60 seconds for the universe through the invisible law of attraction to be fully activated in your life. God's invisible law of attraction is available to you today because you are just 60 seconds away from attracting better relationships. Take the next 60 seconds and attract better relationships by telling a relationship story for 60 seconds, 3 times a day for 21 days. Why 21 days? Because that's how long it takes to change your life. Now say this relationship story out loud 3 times a day. It is my divine and human right to attract new, wonderful, and dynamic relationships today. I am attracting and allowing new and exciting people in my life. I am a blessing to all of my family and my friends. For a free ebook, visit renewcommunitychurch.org.
All right, just want to get a quick break in, everybody. Good morning to you. Welcome back. Currently 9 a.m. in the Queen City, or the drag queen city, as I like to refer to it, because we like to masquerade as something that we are not, which is part of what we've been talking about this morning. The end to the Cincinnati Polite. We've been talking about a couple things so far, just reacting to another community meeting they had in East Westwood. That's a neighborhood here in Cincinnati that's been touched by gun violence, which when I stand back and look at it, man, it's like 2 decades of meetings about violence and like all this effort and energy put into it. And what is the result? When do we get the results? I'm going to tell you like this. These polite community meetings have a place and a role, but I really feel in my heart like we're never going to deal with this seriously until Cincinnati citizens get upset, get angry, and stop being polite and go down to city council and hold them responsible face to face and don't take no for an answer and hold people accountable. Until that happens, it's just like a hamster on a wheel, just running hard, but nothing's really getting done. And I remember, and I want to know if anybody else remembers, I remember, when Blackwell was the police chief, which is under this administration, right? The Cranley administration, he was dealing with gun violence. People was getting shot. This ain't nothing new. Okay. And they had these big old community series of meetings. There's like 3-4 meetings throughout the community in different neighborhoods. And the community showed up because the community always shows up because the community cares. And people was writing stuff down, writing ideas down. They had all these note takers. And where's all that information in now? Where's all these notes and all these ideas that people had? They was writing them down and giving it to the police. And they had all these great photo ops of the police sitting at these round tables with the members of the community. And it was writing ish down. Where's all that shit at now? I like to know, did they keep this information? Is it in a warehouse somewhere? I mean, the same problems and the same issues are still going on. We don't have a gun violence problem. We don't really give a F problem in Cincinnati. As long as as long as it don't hit the news, then nobody really cares about it. When it hits the news, the politicians got to do something. The mayor wants to have a committee. He wants the MAG to deal with it. He wants this to deal with it. It's always a damn committee, which I guess is how you get things done. But it seems to be such a knee-jerk reaction. Like if Cincinnati really cared about this gun violence issue, what we would see is an enduring effort that had nothing to do with headlines whatsoever. All this is headline driven. Oh, somebody got shot. A kid got shot. Oh, it was a shooting in broad daylight. Then people want to react to it. But the Bengals are almost here. Joe Burrow, he's back from an injury. You know what that means? Distraction. Bengals got a shot this year. They're going to play that same old game they play every year. Bengals looking good in spring training. Got new uniforms. Got some new draft picks. You know what I'm saying? That's going to take our attention here soon. It's already happening right now. And then this crime issue will slowly fade to the back. Until there's another shooting there. Everybody will get upset about it for a little while. I'm like, enough of these meetings, man. Stop being polite. Raise hell. Raise your voice. Go over your allotted time at the city council meeting. Stay longer than you're supposed to. And hold them accountable. I don't know. Maybe if we had, and people have suggested this, maybe if we had right now council members are at large, meaning that all of Cincinnati votes on them. They represent all of Cincinnati. But maybe if we had council members that were voted that represent a particular district, right? A district including several neighborhoods, then maybe we get more accountability. Because the current system, it just seems like there's not a lot of accountability. They all sit back there and they stand up, they sit forward when they want to, and they sit back when they want to. Right? That's what it seems like to me. But what do you think? 513-873-7134. And also, as I said, a cultural conversation. I got more for you. We'll get to it here. Now we're in our last hour. Alfonso Ribeiro is complaining that black people don't support him and white people don't support him. Quote, "So I'm in my own little world with support from almost no one. To be in love with someone I've fallen in love with. How does that make sense? Question mark. It doesn't. We all want to live in a world where everyone is accepted for being and loving and living the way they choose to live. I will support any person that wants to live in a world that they want to live in. I'll support a racist person to live in a world they want to live in. They don't have to be around me." So I didn't know this until this week, that Alfonso Ribeiro is married to a white woman. I didn't know he was married. I never really thought about his marital situation. I had no idea whatsoever. I just liked him as an actor. I thought he was dope as Carlton. I've seen him in some other things. I thought he was good in it. He's forever going to be typecast as Carlton. What Alfonso Ribeiro needs, he needs to be like a villain. He needs to get out of that good guy Carlton role and play like a villain. Y'all remember when Wayne Brady, he played a villain on the Dave Chappelle show? Remember that? He was like the complete opposite of the nice guy that Wayne Brady appears to be. It was hilarious. That was a great episode. That's what Alfonso Ribeiro needs to revive his career. He needs to be a villain because he's always going to be the good guy. He's always going to be the good guy. He's always going to be Carlton with the bow ties. Remember that episode when they were in college, right? Or they were about to go to college, I think. And Will and Carlton wanted to be in a black fraternity. Remember this? And the brother was like, "Hey man, Will, we like you. You're lambda. It should have been, I think it was something like that. Try lambda material. But your cousin, nah." Remember that? That was hilarious. But I like to know, does that sound like the black family? Will we shun a brother because he married a white woman? Where are we at with this whole interracial thing? Like, isn't that so? I thought we were post-racial after Obama got elected. Thought we was living in a whole new world now where that kind of stuff didn't matter. For me personally, I keep saying, I'll say it again, I wanted a sister. That was me. My mother was a sister. My grandmother was a sister. All my peoples is black. I wanted to marry a sister. Whatever I am, have, will have, I wanted to share with a sister. That's just me. Okay? Everybody different. I also believe that love is so rare. Love is so rare that if you find it, you better hold on to it no matter what the race is. So I don't know. What's your take on this? This sound like, can Alfonso Ribeiro come to the Black family cookout? Yes or no? That's what I'd like to know. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. This is Drop Squad 52, Kev on the sales, #1 fan. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Drop Squad. Welcome, brother.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Mr. Ivey, in light of all the craziness, all the hysteria over people not being vaccinated, people who got vaccinated are being told that your vaccination doesn't matter now. You got to wear a mask. Mr. Ivey, something that no one's really talking about or no one's fact checking it. Headline, New York Post, July 15th, 2021. Data shows illegal border crossings on pace to top 1 million this month. Mr. Ivey, you don't talk about the immigration problem. You don't talk about the border crisis that's been assigned to our Vice President, Kamala Black Y'all Harris, and the horrible job she's doing in her attempt to put a halt to these border crossings. And it's not working, Mr. Ivey. It's just not working. And no one wants to talk about where are these estimated 1 million illegal border crossers, asylum seekers, migrants. Where are they at? Where are they going? We do know. Oh, before I continue, this is an opinion, Donetta. Alert, alert for
Danita?
overseer
You mean
and
Danita?
co-overseer.
You mean Danita?
Alert, alert for
Yeah, Drop, I hear
Mr.
you
and
with all
Mrs.
that.
Cleophas.
But her name is Danita.
Danita,
Yeah, Danita.
co-overseer, Mrs. Cleophas. This is an opinion alert. My opinion is, Mr. Ivey, that a lot of these illegal border crossings and asylum seekers are coming to America with COVID. We know they are. Where are they going, Mr. Ivey? Are they being spread across the country? Well, I do know they're here in California, and California was the first. Well, the city of Los Angeles, the county of Los Angeles, was the first county last week or a couple of weeks ago to reinstate mask mandates indoors, whether you're vaccinated or not. But no one wants to talk about the illegal immigrant population that is in this state and other states across this country. Why is there no coverage of this issue, Mr. Ivey, when it is directly related to the so-called surge in positive COVID testing, even among those who are vaccinated? And here's another opinion. Why the hell would you continue to test someone who's been vaccinated unless it's for political reasons? Is this a way to stave off the 2022 red wave? Just checking. Drop Squad 52. Don't be science. Where are all the COVID? Where are all the asylum seekers? Where them illegal aliens? I'm out.
Appreciate the call, brother. Brother, he said the red wave, huh? Okay. He wants to know about the super spreader event happening on the border. Okay, brother. Off topic a bit, but okay. Hilarious nonetheless. Her name is Danita. You're mixing Danietta and Danita. I can hear it, but it's all good, brother. It happens to the best of us. Nothing wrong with that. That man said dropping science, huh? Sounds like it. We got a Cincinnati voting problem in the Black community. Polite don't get ish done in this city when it comes to our issues. You got to get ugly. With him on that one. David writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Nate Fox writes, wealth is built by families. Danita writes, if interracial dating is an issue for you, you need to grow the funk up. Charles writes, interracial dating isn't a big issue. Love who you love, do you? Cass writes, it shouldn't still be an issue, but sadly it is. But race in America itself is still an issue, so I'm not surprised. Okay. Where the Black women that just got a problem with celebrity, like, Black men dating outside their race, marrying outside their race? I know they out there. A classy one writes, would you be okay with your children dating, marrying, and having kids with a non-Black? I mean, ultimately, I would be okay with that's my children's decision. Now, what I want is I want my kids to be like me. You know, let's take my son, for instance. I want my son to be heterosexual. I want to marry a black woman like I did with his mama. That's what I want. Now, what he does is going to be up to him. And as long as he ain't out here doing something reckless, I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to roll with it. You know, I'm just being honest with you. You know, that's up to them. But I think most parents want their kids to be happy first, but they want their kids to be like them. I think most fathers, if you're a heterosexual father, you want your son to be heterosexual. I mean, if he's not, that's on him. I mean, he can still come home. He's going to get the same love no matter what. But that's what your desire is. But let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Nate? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Glenn, welcome.
Nate, I'm gonna trip you out, man. I actually want to give the Republican Party, the alt middle, and black and goofy a little credit this morning. Because, Nate, they are organized as hell when it comes to that message. And what's so funny, and you know, it's just so ironic that Drop tried to play, and see, Nate, this is where I told you, like, years ago, like, they just send out this email of talking points, and this is what you say in right-wing media. These are the gaslighting, pandering talking points. Down the Dow yesterday, Nate, and this is their new thing. They're trying to blame the Delta variant exploding in those states on who, Nate? Illegal immigration. That's what your boy was pushing down the Dow, and then this morning, Drop comes with the same BS. I mean, the exact same thing. And Ben Shapiro was talking that stuff. Which other guy dropped? Charlie Kirk at Turning Points USA. You know, I know all these people. But that's their talking point, Nate. It wasn't because, you know, Rick DeSantis down in Florida, you know, decided that he was just going to go against everything that Joe Biden put in front of him, or the public health commissioner down in Florida. No, it's the illegal immigrants coming into it. Did you see how he tried to push it? Well, Nate, where are they going? They're going to the red states, Drop. Is that what you're trying to say, Drop? The illegal immigrants are in Missouri and Idaho, and that's the reason why there's an explosion of the Delta variant. And it's not because those people were the same ones burning their damn masks like a bunch of goofy-ass people. It wasn't the same people that decided they were going to kidnap the governor of Michigan because she had a mask mandate. But, I mean, it is amazing. Again, I got to give them credit. Black Russia really tried to stick with the talking point that Greg Landsman should be there, but not the head of the freaking Public Health and Law and Public Safety Committee. Did I hear that right, Nate?
You getting it right.
Did I hear that right? That would be like, we're going to have a meeting about Sin Digital Media, and no offense to anybody else, but we're just going to talk to Christian and Melanin Insight, and Nate won't be there. It don't make any sense, but I like I said, I had to make it quick, but I was like, damn, they on point. You know about stay on code, but you're not trying to play the, oh yeah. So everybody out there, I'm just giving you a little heads up. This is their new talking point. See, we still in what we doing, critical race theory. We still got BLM. We still got Antifa that was actually at the Capitol. Remember they tried to push that bullshit.
Yeah, they did.
And now we got the illegal immigrants coming to America, but only to the red states. Nate, I'm out of here, man. Petty peace, brother.
Appreciate the call. Now, I want to say this. Glenn is 100% right. And I don't fault the Republicans for doing this, but they've been doing it for years. They have these email lists. How do I know? I used to be on them. I'm still on a couple of them. I still get emails from the Republican Party about, and it's straight talking points. It's literally, here are the issues of the day, and here is what you should say about them. Literally. I can say that 100% for a fact. I think it's smart. I mean, I think it's smart as a party to stay consistent, but that's the reason why you'll hear the same exact phrase come from conservative media types, no matter what level they're on. That's because they're getting these mass email blasts on a daily basis, topic by topic, and then giving you points, bullet points on how to respond and what the spin is and how to and how to deal with the liberals and all this kind of stuff. And so they get these emails on a daily basis before they do their shows. They just run down them and they regurgitate it, like literally. And I'm still on a couple of them. I'm on Trump's email list, and I'm on another email list as well. So I get these emails sent to me, and it's so funny. You get the email and you sit back and watch, and then you go on Tucker Carlson, you turn to your local right-wing radio guy, and they're saying the exact same thing. And that's because it's just lazy show prep. It's lazy ass show prep, Rather than thinking for yourself, it's like, oh, I got my daily talking points. You just read through the talking points. You feel like you're a good Republican. But, I mean, it's smart, though. I'm not saying it's a dumb idea for them, but for us, it's not authentic. Hey, good morning, Kamara. Kamara's in the house. Good to see you. Danita writes, I don't think who you marry says a lot about you as much as why you marry that person. Really, I like to hear more. I think who you marry says a lot about you. I believe that 100%. I think it means it says a whole lot about who you are. It's undeniable. That's just my thoughts on it. Now, you say why? Well, I think people get married for the same reasons, right? You find a companion, you love them, the sex is good, they got money, all of these above. You know what I'm saying? That's why. Y'all got similar goals. I mean, people get married for the same reasons. They fall in love, the sex is good, the money game sounds like y'all on the same point, and y'all want a similar lifestyle. I think no matter what the race of the person is, that's why people get married. I'm talking about who you marry. I'm talking about who you marry. And again, to each his own. I don't fault nobody, but at the same time, I do have an opinion about it, and that's my opinion. Let me see. Sandra writes, I really thought he had a husband. Really? You thought Alfonso Ribeiro was gay? I never saw that. I just never thought about it. Like, hasn't he been like a host on like a popular like talk show or game show? I thought he was excellent. I remember watching a couple of episodes. I thought he was dude. I thought dude was good at it. Never thought twice about who he was married to until this week. And he's belly aching because he says that the white community doesn't embrace him because he's a black guy. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a hit in the black community. Did white people watch it? Yeah, but that was a hit in the black community, I think, primarily. And then he says that because he's married to a white woman, that black people are shunning him. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know if black people really know that. But then let me ask the black people that I know what you think about this. So that's why I'm bringing it to you today. You tell me. Toys in the house, good morning to you. She writes, I think what gets many people bent out of shape is why someone chooses a partner of a different race, i.e. white women are more submissive. But race will always be a sore spot in America. So the more progress we feel we make, the less many people will accept. You say, why? So you think that when a black man marries a white woman, he's doing that because she's more submissive? I don't know if that's true or not. So if that's the case, then when a black woman marries a white man, is she doing that because he's less submissive? I'm not really sure if that I believe that, but I want to hear your opinion about it. So Toy says that she thinks that some people believe that when a black man marries a white woman, he's doing so because she's going to be less of a problem. That whole strong black woman thing is too much for him to deal with. Is that the way black women perceive a black man that marries a white woman? I'd like to know. And if so, let me flip it. Then how does a black woman perceive a black woman that marries a white man? I'm just curious. I'm very curious about that, actually. What do you think? Brent writes, that sounds similar to the new UNC basketball coach, Hubert Davis. I remember this, who proclaimed the love of his white wife during his introductory press conference. The question was dealing with if the UNC family will fully embrace him. I remember that. We played the video. I thought that Hubert was out of line. I'm like, dude, why are you talking about? He's talking about, I love my wife. I love this. I love that my wife is white, is what he said. I love that my wife is white. Huh? What are you saying, Hubert? You love that she's white. But then I guarantee you that if you press him, he'll say, it's all about colorblind. Love is colorblind. Well, if love is colorblind, what are you talking about? I don't know what Hubert Davis is trying to communicate, man. We spent a whole morning talking about that shit, Brent. I remember that. Thanks for bringing that up and jogging our memory. I remember that. I was like, huh, bruh? What the hell you just say? Tracy writes, I knew. Anthony writes, you can marry whom you want. Just don't leave your blackness behind. I'm with you on that one. Do you automatically leave your blackness behind? If you're a black person and you marry somebody white, do you automatically leave your blackness behind by the sheer virtue that you married and are making a lifelong commitment with somebody that's non-black? That's my question for you. And before anybody says, see, I'm calling all bullshit this morning. We ain't gonna play these games. That politeness, we ain't gonna do that. Because nobody in this audience is gonna tell me that it don't make a difference in your perception. Let me give you an example. Barack Obama. Barack Obama. Nobody in this audience is gonna tell me that you wouldn't perceive him differently on any levels if he had married a white woman. If Michelle Obama was white as opposed to being the sister that she is, nobody in this room is going to tell me that you wouldn't look at him differently or would look at him the exact same. Because if you tell me that, I'm calling you lie. I'm saying you lie. I'm calling you out on it. I've heard so many people give Obama props for the fact that he married a sister. I've heard it from black women. I've heard it from black men. I've seen it in black media over and over again. That was part of the charm. If you go back to, was it 2007? Stop acting like it wasn't. So if that's true, I'm just trying to figure this all out. Again, I'm not assigning any blame. I just want to have a provocative conversation. That's what I do. So tell me what you think. Michael writes, I thought he was rainbow gay. You are wrong. Really? I never thought that about Alfonso Ribeiro. Cass writes, I don't know a lot of women who were head over heels about Carter and be upset he married a white woman. Some women get offended when we want him for ourselves and he chooses to go with a white woman. But I never heard women talking about him. About him like that. Right. So it depends on the black guy. If, like, let's say, Idris or Denzel, right? Black men who black women like think is attractive. If he married a white woman, all of a sudden it's a problem. But if it's somebody that black women ain't checking for, it's like, do what you want to do. It's somebody for everybody, right? Is that the case? Maurice writes, I have to have a queen. Okay. Billy writes, I bet he don't hate cashing those checks, and when he played Carlton, I bet he don't. Danita writes, Simone Biles pulled out of the finals. Yes, she did. From what I understand, she pulled out because of a medical situation. That's what I believe that I read. Sean writes, if Drop can come to the cookout, can OJ Simpson? Yeah, he'll be our celebrity guest at the cookout for sure. Yeah. Greg writes, Grand Risings, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you, Greg. A classy one writes, I wonder if Barack married a white woman, would black people still love him? If I had to be honest with you, not the same. They wouldn't look at him the same. If I'm being straight up honest with you, no, they do not. They would not look at him the same. And why is that? I mean, that's what I want to talk about right now. Charles writes, I'm not surprised Alfonso has a white wife. There are just some black dudes you can automatically tell they have a white wife or girlfriend by how they behave. Is that right? Okay. Charles writes, the black female response typically is they can have, we didn't want him anywho, right? Anthony writes, I have 3 biracial sons. I dated black and Caucasian women in different countries. I'm black, love black, stomp for black, and married to a black woman with kids. Okay. Jerica writes, hola, beautiful black people, and the others too. Hashtag black love, hashtag black family. Let me see. Brandy writes, good morning. Dale writes, Jim Jordan. A classroom writes, why is it a problem when black women date outside our race? I guess for the same reason that for some people it's a problem when a black man dates outside his race. Generally speaking, I thought that a lot of this was behind us, but more realistically speaking, I guess some of it will always be in front of us, right? Just because of the history of race in America. Like I've heard black women be real upset about how when black men make it, become big time stars, celebrities, athletes, or whatever, in too many cases, at least in what I've heard, they're choosing non-black women. And the way it comes to me is like, well, damn, you didn't hit the lottery. You got all this wealth. You should be spending that wealth and wealth building with a sister and building a strong black family unit, which is something I particularly believe in. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's good for you. You know what I'm saying? Anthony writes, they wanted to try to stack the deck with their committee picks. Is that right? Yeah, the Republicans did. They wanted Jim Jordan. There's no way in the world that Jim Jordan should have been on that meeting because all he would have did was cause nonsense and play games and block. Daryl writes, that's right. Liz and Adam, that's right. Nothing will happen. This is America. We'll see. Maurice writes, these white people are immigrants on this continent, so they can't talk about nobody. Billy writes, Nate, there should be a murder charge for everyone who overran the Capitol. Hell, if it were us, it would be. Tell me I'm lying. No, you're right about that. You're right about that. If that was Black Lives Matter activists or Antifa, or if the majority of that crowd was black, it would have been a massacre that day. It never would have went that far. It would have been a whole lot of death that day. Glenn writes, I will give a full chop shop report about the hearings. Okay, cool. Tabitha writes, I like this show. Thank you. I dare you to share the stream. Okay. Sarah writes, Alfonso is having a moment of reflection because he is questioning his cultural identity and association with the community because of his choice to be with a white woman. Our ancestors are not pleased, he writes. Damn. Sean writes, Nate, if you were mayor, how would you stop the violence? Okay. Damn, if I was mayor, huh? Shit. Damn. I never even thought about that before, Sean. If I was mayor. Let me think about that, man. Glenn writes, Sarah Palin can see Black Russia from her porch. Tabitha writes, I'm just mad that no one knows about these meetings until they are over. Well, no, I knew about the meeting beforehand, Tabitha. It was out there, I guess, on social media. And local media had reported about it. So we knew about it. My question is it seems like the same old issues are coming up. People keep saying the same things. So it's not about a lack of ideas or knowing what to do. It's about the will to put it in place. I'll tell you one thing I would do, Sean, if I was mayor. If I was mayor and I pledged to live 5,000 kids out of poverty, I would be willing to risk a second term if it meant that I would deliver on that promise. You can believe that. A second term would be of less importance to me than delivering what I said during the first term. Glenn writes, Smitherman was in Bond Hill. Black Russia is a hypocrite, was he? Danita writes, it's obvious that the 2020 election was stolen. All you have to do is look at the size of the Trump rallies to know that he won. And then when he went to bed on election night, he was ahead in states that weren't called. The next morning, after counting mail-in ballots, he was losing. How does adding more ballots change the results? Danita is having fun this morning. I love her sense of humor, right? Like, how could Trump possibly lose? He was ahead when he went to bed. And he woke up in the morning and they counted all the votes. He ended up being behind. How is that fair? Nat writes, the chair of Law and Public Safety, where he at? He is the chair of Law and Public Safety, falls under his area's chair, right? Kamar writes, get him. Black Russia stuttering more than Joe Biden in the fifth grade. Tabitha writes, it is a shame that we are risking these young kids' lives by playing politics for money. She's right about that. Daryl writes, Russia, stop while you're ahead, shaking my damn head. Yeah, Black Russia was on one this morning. Maurice writes, we need to patrol our own neighborhoods like the Black Panther Party did and stop looking for someone else to do it for us. Sarah writes, Black Russia, you can't win this argument, brother. If it's about crime in the community for a special event at the community council, then public safety chair should be in attendance with every other member of council. Right. I don't know what he was arguing, but Danita writes, Nate, if you're expecting the chair of public safety to attend a community meeting about safety, he isn't up for re-election, so why should he come? Are you saying that because it is his job now? You were expecting him to actually do his job? Right. Black Russia, give this up. Right. To his credit, Black Russia argued to the very end, and it just wasn't good. He argued to the very end, and I'm like, bro, it ain't making no sense, bro. It ain't making no sense, man. Sit tight for me because we got more to talk about this morning. 513-873-7134 if you'd like to share your thoughts. Let me throw this back up here because we talked about Alfonso Ribeiro. Great. We had our provocative conversation. Now I want to talk about this woman on the right. That's a screenshot from a video I saw within the last 24 hours. And this woman, I don't know her name, she was unveiling her brand new mask. That mask is not hermetically sealed, but is vacuum sealed with silicone around her chin. It's got a battery pack to it, and it's got its own filtration system. Pardon me. It's got its own filtration system that's connected to the headset there. And I'm showing you this why. I'm showing you this because this is a glimpse of our future. This is a possible glimpse into the future of America because humans keep playing games with COVID. And as these variants, these mutations of the virus continue to happen, and they are going to continue to happen, if we don't get our act together, we're all going to be walking around with a device like that on our head. That could be the near future of a human society. If you thought wearing a mask was a problem, you might be wearing a whole headset. I ain't mad at this woman. I don't know her name, but I'm not mad at her. She is being proactive, and I like that. So I'm just saying this as a word to the wise. Things can get worse, my friends. Things can get worse. Stop taking this virus lightly. Stop taking it lightly. Take it serious. This is real. Like for real, for real. This is not a game. And we better wake up. We better wake up. Or, like I said, my fear is that things can get a whole lot worse. I hope they don't. I'm not wishing this into existence. I'm like you. I want to get back to whatever they call normal and get back to doing all the things that we're already doing anyway. I saw images of, and again, shout out to J. Raj. I thought it was, I wasn't there, but again, people need these kind of venues and things like that. But I'm just saying, I didn't see a whole lot of people with masks on. You know what I'm saying? That was the number one reason why we just did a walkthrough, had the mask on. I'm just saying. Before we end the show, another word from our sponsor. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is the Nathan Ivey Show.
The words for today are attract more money. It takes 60 seconds for the universe through the invisible law of attraction to be fully activated in your life. God's invisible law of attraction is available to you because you are just 60 seconds away from attracting more money. Take the next 60 seconds and attract more money in your life by telling the financial story for 60 seconds, 3 times a day for 21 days. Why 21 days? Because that's how long it takes to change your life. Now say this financial story out loud 3 times a day. Today, I accept my divine and human right to have more than enough money to be a financial blessing to self, family, and others. I will use my financial abundance today to bless so many people in this universe. Money is my friend. I share my money with my friends. For a free ebook, visit renewcommunitychurch.org.
Again, for a free ebook, visit renewcommunitychurch.org this morning. Good morning to you. Let me see. Brent writes, I haven't seen this much tap dancing since Savion Glover was in Bamboozled. I remember that. Glenn writes, he's off his meds again. Billy writes, Black Russia got the Russell Westbrook. What? Right. What they asked Russell Westbrook, it was like, did you lose the game or did they win the game? He was like, what? Y'all Negroes is tripping. But he said, N-I-G-G-S. Y'all nigwas is tripping. I'm out of here, yo. Just turned his back. It was hilarious. We don't want you on the Lakers, though, Russ. Love you on another team, but not with the Lakers, man. You're going to mess up the flow. Alfonso's always been an emotional guy, LOL. My thing is, he must be going through something, speaking of Alfonso Ribeiro, because now he's looking for validation. If you happy with who you chose to marry and you did it for your own reasons, it is what it is. All right, it is what it is. Oh, shoot, man. Oh, we might get into that tomorrow. Let me see. Oh, that's hilarious. Nakia writes, Black Russia was telling white lies. Damn. Marisha writes, good morning. Good to see you, Marisha. Joe writes, what's up, choppers? What's up to you, Joe? What up, man? Brenda writes, marry who makes you happy. Makes no difference to me. Same here. Makes no difference to me, but let's not act like it don't make a difference in terms of how we perceive people. Again, I use Barack Obama. I heard so many people, black women in the black community reacting to Barack Obama. And a lot of it had to do with him. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that he chose a black woman to be his queen. And we can't act like that wasn't there. So if that's true, I'm just wondering, how do black people really perceive it? I think that the politically correct thing to say is, it don't make a difference. And there's some truth in that. That's their business. It's truth in it. But some black people do look at that. It's the truth. Look at Obama. Tell me I'm wrong. If Barack Obama was married to a white woman, still named Michelle, would you look at him the exact same? Okay, then. The answer is no. I can hear it. So if it's no, so what's that impact? How do we perceive each other? Does it really make a difference? Maybe Alfonso Ribeiro's telling the truth. Maybe people have turned their back on him because he married a white woman. I mean, I don't know. You tell me. David writes, Junior, remember your vibranium. Look for Aquaman in the pool. Is that right? Tabitha writes, I love your son. Charlie Winburn writes, good morning, great and wonderful people. Good to see you, as always. Bunky writes, Kev on the cell and 2 thumbs down. No. We love Kev on the cell. Jerome writes, a lot of black women would hate a black man that's with a white woman before a black man would feel that way about a black woman with a white man. So you're saying that black women will hate on a black man that marries a white woman more than black men would hate on a black woman that marries a white man? I don't know. It's interesting. I'll leave it to the audience. You tell me. Dee writes, I am dealing with this interracial issue with 2 teens. It's a whole other added stress on a parent, but I try to stay neutral. Yeah, my daughter is 16. And if she came home and said she wanted to date a white dude, it wouldn't be my first preference. And it's not for, and let me try to articulate my reasons why, because I want to be honest with you. Again, I'm being totally transparent. I want my kids to be like me. I want my kids to be heterosexual, and I want them to marry black folks, just like I did. I think that's just a real natural kind of thing for any parent. If my daughter comes home with any guy, white, black, or whatever, they're going to get the 3rd degree. She was just talking the other day about how she's going to homecoming next year, and she already knows who she's going with. He's just a friend. It's just platonic. She wants to bring him to the house and have dinner, and then they're going to go out. Like, she got this in her own head, right? And I'm like, sure, we're going to give him the 3rd degree. I don't care who come in here. I don't know, man. Whoever decides to date my daughter, he gonna deal with hell. He got hell coming. He got hell coming because she don't spare her tongue at all. That's how we raised her. Bunky writes, here we go, vax the blacks. Tiff writes, Black Widow was good. Was it now? Jack writes, this guy's biased argument is funny and pathetic. Who's on first? Tabitha writes, Kentucky looking real bad on them shops. You know they don't believe in the vaccine. Now look. Darlene writes, just me, but I think black people accept other races faster and others and more forgiving. Could be. Get the word out to vote and help people get to the polls. Bunky writes, this guy is tacky. Who he's talking about? Let me see. Sarah writes, the Council on Aging and Senior Service Organization should provide bus service for our seniors to get to the polls. Agencies like the NAACP and Urban League should coordinate with them to get this done. You know, I love the idea of, you know, agencies and nonprofits and organizations doing that. But what I would say is we have to help them with donations. We have to help them with donating our time so that we can be a part of that ride share, you know, initiative. I don't think it's enough. And I'm not in any way suggesting, say, Rod, this is what you're saying, but I don't think it's enough to just point fingers at organizations, say they should do this. I think it should be, we should help them do that. So I love the idea. Like, if that means we got to come off some money in terms of a donation to help these organizations make it happen, I'm with that. Jerome writes, the vaccine is not FDA approved, so it's like taking a street drug. That don't sound good. You know what? Since I've taken the vaccine, when I hear people talk about the vaccine, it's like I have different feelings about it because I've already taken those plunges. So when I hear people saying like, oh, well, you know, it's a part of the master plan, it's like, I'm like, well, I'm already there. So I'm hoping y'all wrong. I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping you're wrong, but because I already did that. Charlie Winburn writes, remember with my 5 videos on today's show is to encourage and be a blessing to others during these challenging periods. Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. That's exactly how I hope people take it. And go to renewcommunitychurch.org this morning and find out the information for yourself. Maurice writes, wow, you said Drag Queen City. I laughed. This city has a lot of nicknames. Man, I came up with that a decade ago, if not longer than that. And people resisted it. I've got all kinds of like resistance for that over the years. I recycle the flow, so sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. But it's amazing how and I think it's just a black man thing. Like when I look back over my illustrious broadcasting career, it's just amazing what people get upset about. It's really amazing. I'll never forget when I said, who put Jizzy on the Crizzy? Who put Jizzy on the Crizzy? And I was doing this bit about Jesus Christ and black people being Christians and things like that. So I had this phrase, who put Jizzy on the Crizzy? And people lost their minds, man. A preacher's wife damn near called me the N-word, show her whole ass. Local black preacher here got all in his feelings and shit. And used that as a way to introduce himself to the radio station. Y'all know who it is. You know what I'm saying? Got all in his feelings. I didn't even know the man existed. And the radio station, they handle that completely wrong. You're supposed to support your talent. You don't, when you have a talent such as myself, that's delivering numbers for you, you have to support them. You know what I'm saying? You have to support them. They didn't really support me in that effort. They stood by me. I didn't get fired or anything, but they could have handled that a whole lot better. If it was me, I'd have told the mofo First Amendment rights, and that's it. But this particular preacher he was threatened to unite all the black churches against the former red. I'm tell you the truth. Because I said, who put Jizzy on the Crizzy? This black preacher who's still out there, right? He came to the radio station and threatened to unite all the black churches against the black radio station. I guess he was going to form some kind of boycott or something like that. And he used that as leverage to get himself in the door and start doing his own show. I shouldn't have to tell you who it is, but yeah, this the kind of shit that people do in this city. It's black folks. Because I said, who put Jizzy on the Crizzy? I could not make this up. And I didn't even know the man existed. I had no idea who the preacher was. Didn't even know he was in the world. I had no idea. The statements I was making at that point was I was talking about how preachers will prey on a community. I wasn't using any particular person's name because I was talking about my own experience with my grandmother. I watched my grandmother get fleeced by the black church. You know, you giving the black church your money and not paying your mortgage. How you think that ended? It ended real badly. So it's always been something that I brought up. It's just amazing how people play games. And I keep telling you, we talk a lot about white people, but we got some Judases in Cincinnati as well, and they're black, and they're right here with us front and center, in most cases, prominent positions, and they's the real problem. And they dance around in front of us every single day. People be supporting them. I'll be sitting back like, if they only knew. But it is what it is. We learn those lessons. We need to learn those lessons. That's a true story, by the way. We're going to get all the black churches to boycott the black radio station because Nathan Ivey said, who put Jizzy on a crizzy? Does that make any damn sense? That's how we do each other. Let me see. Tabitha writes, we have bigger problems in Carlton. Yeah, but we ain't going to solve them today, Tabitha. This show is not going to solve all those big problems. Jenny writes, he's a great game show host. He's been doing that for years. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Bunky writes, Nate, he was a villain in that Eddie Murphy and Beyonce movie. Charleston was gangster with it. Eddie Murphy and Beyonce movie? What movie is that? Type in Eddie Murphy and Beyonce movie. Let me see what comes up. Was that Dreamgirls? Is that who that was? That's what just came up. Eddie Murphy, Beyonce. I think I remember seeing Dreamgirls, but I can't remember seeing it. Is that the movie you're talking about? Eddie Murphy and Beyonce? I don't know what that is. If it's not Dream, I just typed that in. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to smack? Right. That was great stuff, man. Marcia writes, oh, damn, I thought I started listening to Save Time was Drop was off right. Charles writes, no vaccinated people feel like their vaccine doesn't mean anything. Drop, you just make ish up. Yeah. Everett writes, I'm out. I can't. Oh, that's Ernest. Didi writes, Danita, right. Get her name right. Get her name. Put some respect on her name. TNT writes, Alfonso sound like a fool. Ain't nobody boycotting him because of who he love. Like you said, people don't even know because they just don't care. Here is Carlton. Here is two Carltons and a boy bye to his irrelevant ass. That's hilarious. They said two Carltons. That's hilarious. Oh my God, that is hilarious. David writes, this segment is brought to you by Jockey and the Lewis Center. Yes. Funny. Oh man. Too much, man. Danita writes, it's my opinion, not a fact, that Drop listening to QAnon theories and Fox News has deprived his brain of real logic and thought processes. It's just her opinion, though. It's just her opinion. Anthony writes, I want my kids to have someone in their corner that makes them happy and will be there for them no matter what they go through in life. Correct. So with my children, if they decided to marry somebody white or non-black, and that non-black person is helping their life and is a good partner, that's all, at the end of the day, that's all I really care about. No matter what my preferences will be. And I know my wife, she feels the same way. And they'll get all the love and acceptance that anybody will get that's good to our children from us. Now, same thing. If they marry somebody black and they on some dumbish, oh, it's going to be a problem. Danita writes, some people say affirmations to themselves. Some people pray, and then some people practice GOP talking points in the morning to get their day started. That's hilarious. Danita is on one, and I love it. Let me write good morning. Bunky writes, Biden let the illegals in untested. That was an ignorant move, and you Negroes voted for this crap. Why wasn't the Democratic Party ahead of this Delta variant? Explain. Okay. Tabitha writes, I get them emails too, and next time I get one, I'm going to share it. Yeah. They literally they've been doing it for a long time. I'm talking about over 10 years. Like I said, the Republican Party appears to me, that they had a long-term strategy and a long-term plan that they're executing, plan by plan, point by point. I'm not saying that Democrats don't have it. I'm just saying that it is clear. Because like I said, man, going back to my college years, going over to UC library, they had all these periodicals. That was before the internet was super, super popular and everything was on there. Now I've started reading these Republican publications, and I swear on everything that the plans that I read that they had and aspirations 20 years ago, they put in place over the last 20 years. All of it. All of it. I'm talking about the Supreme Court. I'm talking about dominating state legislatures. I'm talking about ALEC. I'm talking about plan by plan by plan. They have put it in place. It's undeniable. I have to give the Republican Party props for that. Let's go back to the phone, shall we? Good morning and welcome to the show.
God did that thing.
He is hilarious, man. Oh, man. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. God did that thing. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Anime writes, Bible say don't miss your seat with these people, but wouldn't you know people want to do what they want, and here we are. Don't bring no white male or female in this house unless they ready to work for the cause. Okay. That would be a plus. That would be a plus. He is hilarious. Let me write, many people marry who they love. I think everybody marries who they love. And I'll say it again. I think you should marry who you love. You know what I'm saying? For me personally, I had my consciousness was a part of that. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. David writes, I think those are inaccurate stereotypes. I've dated across the board and they go about life the same. Okay. Dale writes, no Olympic gold for gymnastics teams. Biles out with the injury. Akeem writes, ask Gary Owen. You wrong for that, Akeem. You wrong for that, man. Politically Petty Podcast Show writes, I agree with you, Nathan. You know I'm a Barack and Michelle voter and fan. I'm just saying, I'm just bringing these, I'm just want to be provocative. I want to provoke the conversation. Okay? I ain't hating on nobody. Do you? Because love is the most important thing in finding somebody that wants to deal with you and live with you. You better roll with it. Better jump on it quick. Mike Will writes, I'd rather see the black dates outside their race than date same sex. Marcia writes, no, you do not leave your blackness. I asked the question, do you leave your blackness behind if you marry somebody else outside your race? She says no. Anime writes, honestly, who's surprised is Carlton, man, Carlton. Where is Vice President Kamala, hashtag unblack y'all Harris, white husband, the second husband, Douglas Imhoff? Is that his name? Come on writes, if she don't wear a bonnet, she's not fit for me. Is that right? Oh, that's hilarious. Cam Hardy's in the house. He writes, good morning, Nate. I ran into Cam over the weekend. It was great to see that, brother. Great to see him. I think he's got I told him the same thing. I said the same thing. I think, he's got a strong shot to make it on council because Cam has made a name for himself across the county. Black, white, young, old, people know who the brother is. And that's very, very valuable. I'll tell you one thing I'm going to be looking at with city council is I want to see how strong the Democrat endorsement is. I want to see how strong it is because you got a whole lot of new names, a whole lot of people that, are new. Then you've had scandals that involve Democrats. And then you've got strong and interesting candidates from other parties, Charter Right and Republican Party. So it's going to be interesting to see who makes it on council. It's going to be very, very interesting. Darlene writes, hi, Nate and Choppers. Enjoying this show. Hey, good to see you, Darlene. Good to see you. Let me see. Lemmy writes, virus and pollutants protection. Kevin writes, Nate, ain't nobody wearing masks today, bro, much less for wearing sealed stuff. Okay, you saying that now. Make sure you remember you heard it here first. That woman on the right is the future of America. If we don't get our act together, and I'm talking about COVID, I'm talking about the way that we're destroying our environment, every last one of us is going to have one of those on our face when we leave our house. Either we're going to F up the environment and or we're going to blow it when it comes to these viruses that attack human beings. It's probably going to be both of them, knowing human beings. We just love to mess stuff up. I'm just saying, get ready for it, y'all. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. TNT writes, some brothers was tripping over VP Kamala Harris. And her husband? Yeah, some people were. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Diana writes, WTF? Hey, good to see you, sis, as always. Regina writes, don't believe that. Donald writes, I told my son to date women that look like his mother. May writes, I'm not going to lie. I told them not to bring one home. Lynn writes, black women love black men picks them. They also love when a white man picks them. So they just want to be chosen. Bunky writes, Glenn, I could get more views on YouTube wiping my ass. What? You probably could get some views wiping your ass on YouTube, but please, brother, don't do it. Tiff writes, I prefer they do not. I'd have more of a problem if my son dated a white woman than my daughter dating a white man. Really? Really, Tiff? That's interesting. You would have more of a problem with your son dating a white woman than your daughter dating a white man. And women are the vessel of life. Y'all bring life to the world. That's interesting. Why is that, Tiff? That's curious. I'm very curious. Please share. Why is that? Nat writes, what's the difference? Yeah, what is the difference? Because I would think it would be the reverse. But it is what it is. David writes, I'm looking for black volunteers at Cincinnati NAACP voter empowerment. If you can't give your time, then a minimum of buy $30 membership. Marcia writes, I have a friend in Jacksonville whose daughter is 34 and refused to take the vaccine. The daughter tested positive on Sunday. But you know what it is, Marcia? People who don't want to take the vaccine are willing to get COVID. Because, and I can't say that there isn't some logic in this. I can't say there's not logic in this because the way they look at it is, and maybe just the way we should all look at it, is that the body has mechanisms that are built in to deal with it. And so if you don't die from it, then your body will create antibodies, and it's just a natural way of dealing with a virus. The reason why some people don't want to take the vaccine is because they're afraid of two things. Number one, it's a part of some larger government plot to put something in your body that will harm you in some way. Or two, the side effects because it's not FDA approved. And so they'd rather just deal with the deal with the virus naturally. Either they deal with it, their body gets it, they get the virus, their body creates antibodies, maybe they get sick for a little while, they get over it, or they die. Like there's people that's willing to take it that far. And I can't say that they're wrong in that. Glenn writes, names, please, preacher. It was Bishop Bobby Hilton. That's who it was, Bishop Bobby Hilton. You know me, I don't give a damn. I've said it many times before. I've told him before about it. He already knows. We used to not go back and forth about it, but there was a time whenever I used to see him, I used to bring it up. But I got over it. It got old after a while. That brother's doing good work, but I thought it was very interesting the way that started. Anime writes, and if you bring this to him and he says it's not true, call me. Anime writes, that was before my time. Was it Lynch? No, Lynch wouldn't do nothing like that. Glenn writes, Liz Cheney is the first to ask questions. Great move, Democrats. Very great move. You get a Republican to ask the questions first. That's an excellent move. I'll be watching. Let me see. That thing is stanging. That thing is stanging. What is that? Put that on a t-shirt. That thing is stanging. LOL, that's hilarious. Sandra writes, 20 to 30 plans are working on us now. Saw the plans for Avondale 40 years ago. Man, see, that's the thing. The others, they got plans that are putting in place that have been working on for decades. Meanwhile, in certain parts of the community, we still trying to fumble around and come up with plans. The Republican Party, what you're seeing right now in terms of to take over the majority of state legislatures, the takeover of the majority of governorships, those are plans they put in place 20 and 25 and 30 years ago. What you're seeing right now with the Republican takeover of the Supreme Court, these are plans they had in place 20 years ago. This ain't just happening in a vacuum. That's the reason why they could stomach Trump. Because they knew that Trump was going to put in Republican conservative judges. And that was more important than his day-to-day nonsense. His day-to-day Gilliganisms, that was less important than putting somebody in a lifetime position on the Supreme Court. Long-term plans. Long-term plans. What are we, 10:03? All right, family, I could go on for days and days. I love this. I love being with you every morning, but I will not. Got to make a move. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. I'll be back and hopefully better than ever with you tomorrow morning. We'll chop it up on everything that's happening, people, politics, and pleasure. Have an excellent rest of your Tuesday. I hope it's a tremendous Tuesday, and we'll talk real soon. I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my